Something is shifting inside Carolina Panthers camp, and it's catching people off guard. This isn't just another training camp update. The entire tone around this team feels different. It's sharper, faster, louder. Dave Canales has this roster locked in, the players are buying in, and fans are starting to believe again. But hidden beneath all this momentum is a quiet decision that still hasn't been made. And if the Panthers get this one wrong, everything they're building could fall apart right from the middle. From the outside, it looks like the Panthers are doing everything right. The starters are confirmed for preseason. The wide receiver room is stacked with fresh talent. FanFest brought 40,000 fans back to life. But under the surface, something big is missing. One position doesn't have a clear answer. One spot still has no leader. And the more this battle drags on, the more dangerous it becomes for the rest of the offense. Because the Panthers don't need more highlights. They need stability. And this position decides whether the offense runs smooth or completely stalls. This is where things get serious. Because while the skill players are rising and the quarterback is stepping into his moment, none of it will matter without the right guy anchoring the line. One battle. Two players. A job that controls everything from protection calls to momentum shifts. Coming up next, we break down why the Panthers' offense finally looks ready to explode, and why the wrong decision at center could erase it all. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Panthers and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. The Panthers didn't just add bodies this offseason, they added firepower. From top to bottom, this offense looks ready to finally attack instead of just survive. It starts with the wide receivers. Xavier Legette has already flashed the burst and physicality that made him a first-round pick, while Tetairoa McMillan, another rookie, is proving to be more than just a contested catch guy. He's lining up everywhere, making tough grabs in traffic, and building real chemistry with Bryce Young. Adam Thielen remains as steady as ever, and Hunter Renfrow is turning heads, reminding everyone he's not just here to fill space. He's here to move chains. But the surprise might be at tight end. JT Sanders, who's not a rookie and has been in the league, is having the best camp of his career. He's leaner, faster, and becoming a real mismatch in the middle of the field. Add in the Panthers' commitment to building around the run game, and suddenly, this unit has real balance. Trevor Etienne, the rookie back, is expected to carry a heavy preseason workload, and his early flashes of speed and vision have coaches excited. Even Jimmy Horn Jr., now fighting for a depth role, is getting love from the fan base with his special teams value and explosive upside. This offense doesn't just look complete, it finally looks unpredictable. Still, it all hinges on one connection: the link between the quarterback and whoever is snapping him the ball. Because when timing is everything, a single misstep at the line can blow up a drive before it starts. The weapons are ready, but the system only runs if the foundation holds. And at the center of that foundation is the player this entire battle is revolving around. Coming up, we shift the spotlight to Bryce Young and break down why this preseason isn't just about polishing, it's about proving. No more waiting, no more excuses. This is the offseason that will define Bryce Young. The Panthers have surrounded him with enough talent to finally evaluate him fairly, but now it's on him to lead it. The spotlight is hotter, the expectations are higher, and every rep he takes this preseason matters more than ever before. Last year's slow start is still fresh in everyone's memory, and the team knows they can't afford to stumble again. That's why Dave Canales is making sure his quarterback gets real live reps, starting now. In practice, Bryce has shown flashes of brilliance, followed by moments that raise eyebrows. Some days he looks completely locked in, finding tight windows and leading aggressive drives. Other times, he's holding the ball too long, throwing picks, or looking hesitant. But here's the catch: those numbers don't tell the full story. Behind closed doors, the staff is testing him on purpose. They're dialing up looks, forcing him to adapt, making sure that by the time week 1 hits, he's ready for anything. Even Joe Burrow recently explained that quarterbacks need the preseason more than any other position because they're never truly live in practice. And that's what Bryce is up against. This is the year Bryce has to own the huddle, the tempo, and the locker room. His voice has to be louder than it was last year, and his decisions have to be faster. And none of that happens if there's chaos at the line of scrimmage. That's what makes the next part so critical, because the Panthers are still figuring out who's going to be his center. And until that decision is made, every throw, every read, and every play call hangs in the balance. Coming up next, we go deep into the battle that could decide whether this offense clicks or collapses. No position in Carolina is under more pressure right now than center. It's the one spot where the starter hasn't been locked in, and that uncertainty is starting to echo across the entire offense. Cade Mays and Austin Corbett are battling for the job, but it's not just about who plays better, it's about who the team can trust to be healthy, consistent, and available. Mays started 8 games last season and quietly held his own, allowing just 10 pressures despite being thrown into a tough situation. Corbett, on the other hand, hasn't played a full season since arriving in Carolina and has dealt with multiple injuries over the last 2 years. The front office is watching this battle closely, not just for performance, but for what it means long-term. Mays is younger, cheaper, and trending upward. Corbett is older, more expensive, and trying to prove he can stay on the field. Financially, the difference is huge. Starting Mays over Corbett could open up more than $2 million in cap space, room that Carolina could use to patch holes or invest elsewhere. But it's not just about money, it's about identity. The center isn't just snapping the ball, he's calling protections, reading blitzes, and setting the rhythm for everything. And the longer this battle goes unresolved, the harder it becomes to build chemistry with Bryce Young. Because no matter how talented the offense looks, without a clear voice in the middle, the entire unit can crumble. That's what makes the next question so explosive. If Corbett isn't the answer, is it time for Carolina to move on entirely? Inside Panthers circles, the whispers are getting louder. Some fans and analysts believe the team should trade Austin Corbett before the season even begins. It's not about his talent. He's proven he can be a solid starter when healthy. The issue is availability. After multiple injuries and missed time, Carolina is in a tough spot. They can't afford to carry a high-cost veteran who might not finish the year. The team needs answers, not questions, especially in a season where every snap counts. There's also the cap space to think about. Moving on from Corbett could free up over $5 million in savings. That's not pocket change, it's flexibility, it's leverage. That money could go toward adding depth on defense, securing emergency talent during the season, or investing in a late free agent push. And it's not just about finances, it's about development. Letting Cade Mays take full control now gives him more time to gel with Bryce Young, grow into the role, and lead the line with confidence. It's a long-term play with short-term benefits. But trading Corbett won't be easy. It sends a message that the Panthers are choosing the future over the past, youth over experience, and it risks losing a veteran presence in a critical room. Still, if Mays keeps trending up and the staff believes he's ready, this move might be inevitable. And while the offense battles it out in the trenches, another debate is stirring on the other side of the ball. One that involves awards, legacies, and one name that just might surprise you. When CBS Sports named Derrick Brown as the Carolina Panthers' lone future Hall of Famer, the response was mixed. Some praised his dominance on the defensive line, while others questioned the omission of veterans like Adam Thielen or rising stars like J.C. Horn. Brown's impressive stats, including 203 tackles and 6 pass deflections last season, support the pick, but inconsistency and injuries have kept fans cautious. Meanwhile, Thielen's career longevity and Horn's potential spark their own cases, and Chuba Hubbard's breakout 1,000-yard season hints at a new offensive cornerstone. The Panthers' joint practices with the Browns revealed a clear divide between rising talent and roster uncertainty. Rookie Trevor Etienne stood out with explosive runs and polished vision, while JT Sanders impressed as a dynamic receiving threat. On defense, rookies Shamar Bartholomew, Corey Thornton, and Chaw Smith-Wade made strong cases with aggressive coverage and sharp instincts. However, not all news was positive. DJ Johnson's hip injury slowed his progress. Chandler Zavala remains sidelined, and Jalen Coker appears to be fading in a competitive depth chart. These practices are building momentum for some and pressure for others, as the next live-action test could determine who sticks and who slips, setting the stage for a surprisingly fierce special teams showdown. So now the question flips to you. Who do you trust with the game on the line, Fitzgerald or Wright? Should the Panthers go with the upside of Jimmy Horn Jr., or stick with the reliability of Blackshear? And most importantly, is this team finally rounding into form, or are there still hidden cracks beneath the surface? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This isn't just a preseason game, it's the final chapter of a massive evaluation. And everything that happens next might determine how far this team goes in 2025.